Texas Storm is one of the oldest paintball teams in existence. Recently, they have reinvigorated their efforts and fought to earn the right to play in the Champions Division. Storm is going to need all their new firepower to contend with the stacked rosters that they will be facing, and they will need to play as penalty-free as possible, as they've had problems with flags in the recent past. They do have weapons, good leadership, and tons of heart. They recently picked up veteran Shane Howe, who should be able to get things done for them on the snake side. Mark Johnson is a very creative player, which could help the team on this layout. Justin Suarez will be the first to attack on the D side. Clint Johnson is also very fast, so look for him to run up the snake with Shane Howe. Derek Knight and Andy Horvath could see a lot of reps as well, depending on their performance. Texas Storm has finally earned what they've been wanting for the past 2 years, a chance to try their skills against the best the PSP has to offer. They're going to need to fight hard to keep their Champions Division spot. Tampa Bay Damage won the West Coast Open last year, and they have one of the strongest teams in the PSP. Finishing third overall last season wasn't where they wanted to be, because this team exists to win the PSP championship. Chabuzier is one of the game's most dynamic attackers, and they picked up Dalton Vanderbilt from Dynasty, giving them a very strong D-side push. Though they did lose Rainey Stanzik to Impact, they still have a very strong back line, anchored by Jason Edwards, who is one of the most consistent players on any team. Their snake side will also be strong, with Keith Brown coming into his own, Timmy Prop's always solid, and Brian Smith as their rock in the snake. Dan Holiday is one of the fastest players in the sport and can play anywhere up front. Hailing from sunny Florida, there is no reason Damage shouldn't come out smashing to start the season, as they have had no issues with practice time. They also picked up Jason Wheeler from the UK, who has spent the past 2 years on Moscow Red Legion. Since there are no holes in the lineup at any position, Damage should be one of the best teams in the league again, and one of the favorites to win the Dallas Open.
So welcome back here. Afternoon bracket is about to go down. There are the scores for the morning's competition. Whooped in 187 crew was able to take down Sacramento Excessive 7-4. Then Chattanooga CEP defeated Red Storm 7-4. Houston Heat 7-2 over Vicious. San Diego Dynasty 7-5 against Chicago Aftershock. Los Angeles Ironman lost to Omaha Vicious. Great game for Vicious. They went 1-1 on the day. 3-7. Houston Heat was defeated by Chicago Aftershock 7-3. And then San Diego Dynasty was able to take down the Los Angeles Ironmen in a very brutal division. So next up in the afternoon's bracket, we have Tampa Bay Damage taking on Texas Storm. Looking forward to seeing this matchup here. Todd, talk to me about what you feel about this upcoming game, you know, between a highly touted Tampa Bay Damage, one of the best teams in the league for many years now, Texas Storm, up and coming, and earn the right to participate in this competition with the 10 best teams in the world.
Well, for so long, we saw Tampa Bay Damage winning tournaments on these really slow fields because they were so good at talking and working, winning gun battles, staying alive, and playing as a team. But Tampa Bay Damage can play any style of paintball. This field right here is also built for Tampa Bay Damage style paintball. Turning and living or dying on the break, just gunning people down right away, seeing where people run, making quick adjustments, and then sorting out the bodies and getting up the field and closing out games, winning those low body scenarios. I think that Tampa Bay Damage is going to come out here right now and could possibly put a hurting on Texas Storm. But Texas Storm did play very well last weekend when we were out there practicing them, and they are capable of winning games, and they were shooting players on the break as well. So I think this could be a really good game, but you know, as far as history goes, Tampa Bay Damage, very skilled in all aspects. When you see Tampa Bay Damage play on fields like this, then it's usually bad news for other teams.
You know, I agree with that, Maddie and Todd. I think, and me and Maddie were talking about this as well, how Tampa Bay Damage is extremely good at shooting on the break. They're quick secondary moves. They get in your spots. They continue to keep their lanes. On the flip side, Texas Storm, a rather new team to the Champions Division. However, they're unpredictable. They're quick, they're fast, they're super aggressive. And this is one of those fields that the super aggressive works.
Absolutely, and it's a crazy field. And hopefully Texas Storm has been doing their homework and watching how the morning bracket went down. Obviously, they practiced this layout. But still, that being said, you can learn a lot from watching that morning bracket, see the mistakes that were made out there. Obviously, a lot of penalties early on. It got cleaned up a little bit towards the afternoon, or as the afternoon bracket approached. So, yeah, Texas Storm, man, if the thing is, this is a big opportunity for them. Big test, big opportunity. if they come out, like look at Aftershock. Aftershock impressed a lot of people today. They went 1-1. And they defeated Houston Heat. And so now everyone's like, oh my God, look at Aftershock. Texas Storm has this same opportunity. If they come out here, put up a good fight against Tampa Bay Damage, if they could squeak a victory out, it's up to them. They've had the offseason to train for this. Ryan Gray, who's put a lot of work, a lot of time in maintaining Texas Storm as a franchise. It's a legendary team, man. Pretty much all these teams that you don't get here unless you're incredibly good at the game, and there's great stories behind all these. Now, Texas Storm has been a team for a long, long time, but recently reinvigorated their squad and made it good enough to fight and earn the right to play with these teams and play against these teams. So, you can check off one goal that they've accomplished, which is make it into the champions bracket, but now they have a whole new set of challenges in front of them. And first up, man, it's talk about careful what you wish for. They got Tampa Bay Damage, and Tampa Bay Damage, they picked up some big players in the offseason. They got Jason Wheeler from Moscow Red Legion, and Jason Wheeler can play the two with the best of them. And then they also got Dalton Vanderbilt. And when you start stacking up their attackers, they have some awesome attackers on Tampa Bay Damage's lineup, some of the best out there. They typically play a slower game, though, which we've been talking about, but they have have it within them to play fast as well. They're going to need that on this layout because we haven't seen one game go to time yet. Every single game in this race to 7 has actually got to 7 points. So, Tampa Bay Damage, slow, methodical, slow and steady wins the race. I don't think that's going to work out here. No,
I agree with you. I mean, I think it's beat them to the punch and then keep punching them.
Yeah.
You can't, if you beat them with the punch, they have time to react and fill the gaps. I agree with you.
Maybe they'll prove us wrong. Maybe they'll come with a different strategy of playing this layout. But with how chaotic these breaks have been and how many bodies are dropping, it's the teams that are able to make those quick moves. Like we saw Alex Rodriguez from the Ironman, Carl Markowski from Aftershock, Oliver Lang from Dynasty. There's been these guys out here that are really seeing those lanes out there open up when bodies start dropping, and they're making those big dynamic moves and really becoming giant assets for their team on this particular layout. So, hopefully these guys watched the morning bracket. I'm sure they did, and I'm looking forward to seeing these two teams play here.
Yeah, it's going to be exciting. Texas Storm did make a bunch of pickups, too, over the offseason. They got Justin Schwartz at the end of last year. They picked up Shane Howe. They got Mark Johnson, who's on the field right now, one of their longtime standing players. And, Texas Storm, they'll play aggressive. There's Mark Johnson right there, number 3, with Justin Schwartz. These guys will play aggressive. They will come at you. And, I think we both learned a lot about this field last weekend in practice. So, this should make for a pretty exciting game over here.
Well, Texas Storm has some great players on their team. And it's just, can all those talents, that's always the thing. Can they coalesce? Can they get it together? Can they all play great at the same time? Because that's what you need to do in this league. So right off the break, it looks like Texas Storm losing a body, trying to get up in the center. 4 players alive, but look at this Tampa Bay Damage. They also lose a body, but they have the 50-yard line snake, and it's Dalton Vanderbilt in there.
I love watching Dalton play. He's a great player, a great pickup, and a great asset to this team.
Yeah, so Dalton rolls around, gets a shot on Mark Johnson right away, and then he gets blown to pieces.
I thought he was actually eliminated because he just stood up and kind of stood there for a second.
Yeah, you got to be careful. So Dalton made a great move to get up there and got a good shot on Johnson, but then he gets taken out immediately by Shane Howe. Shane Howe that gets taken out.
That was a one-on-one, actually. Just saying.
Bodies drop so fast on this layout. Chad Boucher was the last player left alive on the D side, not surprising.
Well, Dalton fell asleep on that. I mean, he really shouldn't have, and I really thought he got shot.
Yeah. I thought he did too, to be honest.
He stood
up kind of casually. Let's check out this replay here. So Dalton's going to come around. There goes Johnson into Snake 1. And so Dalton checks off each lane, puts the back guy in, rolls around.
See, look, that's a guy. I just got shot. See? Well, he put his hand in the air. So see that I thought he was dead. So.
I thought he stood up casually, put his arm in the air, kind of signaling, okay, I'm hit, and then wheels his gun up. So maybe he was trying to put his hand up to wave off one of his own players, saying, hey, I'm now on their side. I don't know. That was a little strange move by Dalton in the Snake. Still, he got a G. He got in there, so he did some work.
Quickly.
There's Sean Saucedo right there, number 99 for Texas Storm. Coming in with number 24. There's Derek Johnson on the field as well. There's Chad Bougier, Kevin Brentauer talking about the game plans. Chad Bougier ran deep behind that Dorito side can, shot his gun, and then dipped out to the corner. As Timmy Probst came up into that can, he got shot pretty early, but man, bodies just dropped all over the place.
Yeah, this game brought to you by Avid Paintball. They have a Bunker Fest. It's a PSP affiliate event. It's Bring Your Own Paint, May 31st to June 1st. It's going to be at X Factor Paintball Park. So definitely support the people that support us, Avid Extreme Sports in Plano and Avid Extreme Sports Park in OKC. They have a new turfed tournament area. So here we go. Looking at damage. So Tampa Bay Damage about to roll. They are up 1-0 against Texas Storm. Crazy first point. Let's see if these teams can survive the break, these crazy breaks we've been seeing. Nope, looks like two bodies dropping for Texas Storm. Then they try to spread the field, but then he gets taken out. Andy Horvath's walking off as well. And here comes Tampa Bay Damage. They're going to make quick work again. Wow, that might have been the quickest point we've seen all day.
Yeah, that was actually really quick. I want to say that was Brian Smith sprinting on the other side of the field, but those guys all look fast to me, so I think it might have been Keith Brown, maybe, no?
Yeah,
that was Jason Edwards.
Yeah, Jason Edwards. Chad Bougier was just off to the races on that Dorito side of the field, came all the way down, dove into the 50. Jason Edwards came swooping in right underneath them, and it was curtains over here on the snake side for Texas Storm. So damage going to go up 2-0 very quickly. We'll be right back after these messages.
So we are back here looking. There's Ryan Gray from Avid Sports, captain of the team. Also, make sure to help us help the sport here at PBA. Watch the stream in high definition, crystal clear quality. We're trying to do great things for the sport of paintball, but we need you to help and pitch in. Doing all we can over here. We've been, struggling now for 2 years to provide you guys the best show in paintball and the most in-depth coverage, but we need you guys to help pitch in, man. It's the reality of the situation. So here we go.
Yeah, there's Timmy Probst, Jacob Edwards, Keith Brown, Dalton Vanderbilt getting back on the field, and Jason Wheeler getting a spin right there. You see number 89 in that top right corner. Going to come back into the picture here in a second as a player for Tampa Bay Damage. So Damage right now getting good field position very quickly. Those first 2 points, able to take advantage of it. We'll see if Dalton goes all the way back to the snake again. But Chad Bougier, 2 games in a row, going real deep on that Dorito side, gunning guys down, then taking off. Timmy Probst, Jason Wheeler heading out there. And right away, 2 more bodies coming off the field.
And we talked about that. Oh, sorry, that was a red pod. That was a red pod. Sorry. Like we talked about, Tampa Bay Damage, great at shooting lanes and holding those lanes.
Yeah, number 99, Sean Salcedo gets shot, going over here to the snake side. Just 2 bodies left alive for Texas Storm. Oh, make that 1 as Shane Howe gets a left eye patch. 1 body left over there in that Dorito corner, Brian Ferrari for Texas Storm. But Vanderbilt, Brown, and Wheeler all walking off the field for Damage. It's a 2-on-1.
Yeah, and Jacob Edwards going to Dylan over here on the snake 50. And Texas Storm going to tap out here. Timmy Probst and Jacob Edwards, last 2 players left alive for Tampa Bay Damage. Score is going to be 3-0 now.
And man, Tampa Bay Damage is just destroying these dudes on the break right now.
Yeah. they've got their shots dialed in. You know that, and we see that a lot from Damage. Damage does their homework. They got a great coach, amazing support from CJ Basalas, their owner, and you know, they're from Florida, so it's not like these guys haven't been playing every weekend out there, you know, wanting to be the best and looking real good doing it right now. And it's tough. When you go down 3-0 against a good team, it's just such a moral defeat. And it's really tough to hype yourself back up. But that's what Texas Storm needs to do right now. So can they get back in this match? We will see. About 17:20 on the clock. We'll be right back.
Welcome back. We are watching the Damage versus Storm match right now. Damage is up 3 points, 3-0. Now, you guys came into this ready to battle it out in the champions bracket, but you were going against Damage for your first game of the weekend. How was your confidence coming into today?
Really good. I mean, we like to be the underdogs, so, you know, everybody maybe pick on us being easy. Nah, it's not going to be. So we're just going to grind it out, man. This is a grinding field. You get 2 guys off the break, and it's 3-on-3 almost every match here. So.
All right, let's see who gets this next point.
Well, there you go, Maddie, right on the break. Both teams losing a player on the break, but Tampa Bay Damage is coming down the snake and just putting it on Texas Storm.
Tampa Bay Damage setting the tempo, setting the pace right now. They're attacking, they're shooting players off the break, they're making dynamic moves, they're taking those positions. Oh, it looks like a minor penalty, though, on Tampa Bay Damage right now. This may be Texas Storm's chance to get on the board here.
2-on-1 right now. Derek Knight. I accidentally called him Derek Johnson earlier. Derek Knight over there in the Dorito 2 right now for Texas Storm. And then one more body, Clinton Johnson.
And that's one thing
here in the snake side corner.
And that's one thing about this field I'm seeing, Todd, and you correct me if I'm wrong as a coach. When bodies start dropping as quick as they do, I see a lot of players just running down the field and getting blasted. Sit back, chill out for a second, let the smoke clear, and then figure out what's going on, because what's happening is there's so many bodies walking off in drones that you never know what's going on. It could be a one-on-one, and you know, people are getting clipped like that. So,
I mean, this game is going pretty fast here. Guys are just dying so quickly, running at each other, just like you said. But you know, you'd rather be caught, you know, getting up the field trying to kill people than getting bunkered way there in the back. So.
Yeah, and right now, got a one-on-one, Clint Johnson and Chad Boussier. And this is Texas Storm's chance. This is a must-win situation for Clint Johnson right now. They do have a ton of time, so even if they do lose this and go down 4, and then coming out the box, and it looks like Clint Johnson was able to get that shot in on Dalton. Oh, then he might have got clipped himself, though. Might have come off the bunker. Refs getting in there to check him out.
Yeah, he lost Derek Knight at some point, so able to shoot Dalton, but now it's a one-on-one with Chad Boussier.
It's not the most person I want to be in a one-on-one with. I can think of a lot more people I would rather. Oh, yeah, he is definitely eliminated. Oh, and a major penalty being called right now on Texas Storm.
Yeah, so the point should have just ended right then and there because
and he's running to the wrong box.
Nobody left a pull.
So.
Yeah, he definitely went to the wrong box.
Yeah, I was like, where's he going?
With the new rules, though,
yeah, you know.
Last year, if you got shot and got a penalty, then you served your penalty. This year, if you're the player that gets eliminated and get a penalty, you run off the field and your buddy is the one that serves the penalty. So
your friends are mad at you the whole game pretty much.
Yeah, like what happened for those of you that were with us early this morning, we watched that excessive game against 187, and there was 5 penalties on excessive, and Riley Sullivan served 4 of them for his teammates.
Lord.
Yeah,
that was horrible.
It doesn't get more frustrating than that if you're Riley Sullivan during that excessive match. But we'll be right back here with more of this Texas Storm Tampa Bay Damage matchup. Don't go anywhere. So here we go. Very frustrated. Texas Storm looks frustrated right now.
Well, you see that, their mannerisms, Maddie.
Yes.
See me in the pit, and I'm getting my butt kicked like this. I'm furious, and I'm ready to smash floaters and smash faces.
I remember. I can hear you from the other fields.
You're like that if you're up points too, though.
Oh yeah. Well, it's all relevant across the board.
Some people play hype, some people play calm. Yeah. Everyone's got their own mode, their own method of trying to get in the zone. However, Chris was definitely one of those hype guys. I was one of those hype guys. And Todd, we want to talk about loud paintball
players.
Exactly. go watch the practice report. Go to Paintball Access, check out our channel, and watch the vicious practice report. And Todd, you want to talk about intensity? Todd, you put your best game face on up here. You're so calm, methodical. I love it. But you can get hyped with the best of them, some of the best ever. So, but it's interesting. You can tell by guys' mannerisms and body language whether they want to move, how well they feel about their team, how well the team is doing. It's so interesting how much information is conveyed by the body language of these teams. There's Texas Storm looking. You got Shane Howe, veteran. He's staring downfield at his opponents. He's getting ready mentally in the zone. 4-0 is the score.
And Texas Storm still has that penalty on the board right at the end of that last point. Clint Johnson asked for a check, and he had a hit on his hand, so the referee came over and called a major on him. So they're going to be playing 4-on-5 for a full 2 minutes over here. And here comes Tampa Bay Damage, getting no kills on the break, but losing Brian Smith trying to come up the middle. Mark Johnson goes into that small temple right on the inside, snake side of the A. He catches Brian Smith sleeping. Jacob Edwards over here with Keith Brown. Jason Edwards in the pin. There goes Jason Wheeler out to the mini Dorito #1. One body comes off the field for Texas Storm. Nobody on the Dorito side. On the attack now, Keith Brown coming up the snake, shoots Mark Johnson. Keith Brown on into the 50 snake, Wheeler into the 50 Dorito. Tampa Bay Damage shoots another body, just one body left. Sean Saucedo getting kind of tight, not tight enough, gets one in the goggles. And Tampa Bay Damage walking around. Now Keith figures out to go grab the flag and run it in. So, time ticking away, but Tampa Bay Damage just destroying Texas Storm right now. It's 5-0. And looking really sharp right now. Tampa Bay Damage on this field, going really hard on that Dorito side, getting out alive on the snake side. Check out this replay real quick. Here is Keith Brown making the move. Mark Johnson walking off in the background, standing in the 50 snake. Figure out where the body is. Does a little creepy, sneaky move. Here comes Jacob behind him, and bye-bye, Sean Saucedo.
Yeah, they're looking good, man. Tampa Bay Damage looks sharp right now, as the score well indicates. 5-0 up over Texas Storm right now.
There's Dave Baines on your screen. Edmonton Impact getting ready to come up next. Should be a good game. Impact and Infamous. Could be a lot more exciting than this 5-0 game we got here right now, but you never know. Teams could come back on this field. But who you guys got in that Impact Infamous game?
Ooh, I don't know, man. That's been one of the ones I'm really looking forward to watching. I think it's going to be a really close match, but Infamous seems so focused right now. Not that Impact's not. I mean, obviously it could go either way, but Infamous underperformed so much last year, and they have pretty much the same crew. And then Impact, Impact, same with the Ironman, same with these teams that are trying to, kind of retool the system. Houston Heat, Houston Heat went 1-1 today. Ironman also, so I think that maybe potentially Impact could be in the same boat. It's up to them. We'll see. I'd have to take Infamous in that match.
Yeah, I agree with Maddie on that. I mean, I think it's going to be a nice, evenly close matchup, but I think that Infamous has been grinding a lot lately, and I saw a couple of the guys, and they look very, very focused. So I'm looking forward to seeing that game as well. On the breakout split screen, Damage on your left and Storm on your right, but Damage losing the player, as you saw on the screen right away. But look at Texas Storm getting in the 50 and getting blasted.
Yep, and Justin Schwartz tried to fill all the way over to the snake side corner. He got blasted. Derek Knight is in that can. He's just going to get pinched out and just Nowhere to hide.
Man, I'm watching Tampa Bay Damage right now, Maddie, and these guys are just blazing everywhere.
Yeah, they look great. It's tough to tell. I mean, is Tampa Bay Damage just playing so good, or is Texas Storm just not playing that good? It's one of those situations that's kind of tough to tell. I think Tampa Bay Damage is playing really good.
I agree with you.
Their shots are on the break. They're making crisp bumps. They're not letting any. They're dominating their gunfights. They're just pushing Texas Storm around.
Yeah, Texas Storm. I mean, they're not even having enough time to get to their spots and fight. You know, as soon as they get in, they're looking around and just watching their teammates walk off the field dead. And I mean, Tampa Bay Damage doing a really good job of just cutting these bodies down on the break. So
let's check out this replay here. See Texas Storm getting up into that 50-yard line, Snake trying to shoot cross field, and then just getting obliterated through that crack right there. And that's one of those age-old stories that you got to be careful. As soon as you get in the 50, that doesn't. It's tough. You want to get up there and start chopping up the opponents, but if somebody watched you go in there and they were shooting at you the whole way, well, where do you think their paintballs are going to go? Right to where they think you're going to pop up. So
yeah. Plus, Texas Storm is still playing with 4 bodies. You know, still 25 seconds left on that major. You know, major penalties really hurt. You know, I'll tell you how a major penalty can hurt your team. In the Omaha Vicious Houston Heat game this morning, it was a 3-2 ball game. We had the 4-on-2 body advantage. Then all of a sudden we got a major penalty. Could have won that point, made it 3-3, been playing 5-on-5 instead. Get a major penalty, lose that point, go down 4-2, and then lose 2 more points playing a body down to go down 6-2. So, you know, it could be a 3-point swing, a 2-point swing on really fast fields. You know, it's usually a 3-point swing. On those slower fields, you know, sometimes a 1 or a 2-point swing. But, I mean, it's really tough. You're playing down, and then on a field like this, there's also not a whole lot of spots to go and try and lock it off and burn your penalties off either.
yeah, it's really tough. I mean, you have to. I mean, you really have to just fight fire with fire and shoot people off the break in order to even up on the penalty when you're down a body. So Texas Storm, let's see if they can win one for pride here and keep this point spread a little bit closer. Point spread's huge, man, in the champion division with these teams so evenly matched normally, and a lot of times it gets down to point spread.
Oh, Jason Wheeler goes running down that Dorito side, but getting blasted. Here comes Texas Storm finally getting their body out of the box. So back to full strength now, but down 6-0 as Mark Johnson gets into the 50 Snake. Another damaged player walks off. We got 4 Texas Storm players alive. And there goes Jason Edwards. One last player gonna get ran down. I believe that was Timmy. Timmy Probst gonna get run down by, that is Brian Ferrari down the Dorito side. So Texas Storm not giving in, able to win 1 point. Down 4 bodies.
It's good to see that fight.
And they're going to get back to 5-on-5.
Yeah, they finally get back to 5-on-5. Seeing that fight, like I just said, that's important stuff, man. This is the first of 4 games. So in order to have a chance at all, you got to keep that chin up, man. And Texas Storm needs to do it regardless of the outcome here of this next point. But to finally get on the board, we'll be right back after this. So welcome back here, 2014 season opener for the PSP here at Cousins Paintball, Dallas, Texas. Go to cousinspaintball.com, bring some friends out. Starting to warm up a little bit.
Yeah.
It was a little chilly this morning, but looking like we're going to have an awesome afternoon of paintball. Right now, Texas Storm getting beat up pretty bad by Tampa Bay Damage. They did just score a point, so. And they have the cool thing about the way that this setup is, this particular layout, is because of the fast points, it does leave you some time to come back. So with about 12 minutes and 23 seconds to go here, the crew from Texas Storm should they start executing their game plan, shooting players off the break and making those moves, could mount a comeback here. But man, Tampa Bay Damage looks awesome right now. Stumbled a little bit that last point, but regardless, they're looking like a favorite. But it's Tampa Bay Damage, so you know.
Yeah. Well, they're in position right now to try new things. Just gotta see what happens. Maybe take a couple experimental run-throughs, or just breakouts, and some. I mean, drills. Yeah, drills. You can cost yourself a couple points when you're up 6-0.
So on the breakout here, looking at Tampa Bay Damage on your screen, getting into the snake and losing a body as Keith Brown walks off early, but it looks like 2 bodies dropping from Texas Storm as Shane Howell and Mark Johnson take the walk.
And shutting down Shane Howell in a team like that is imperative. I mean, the guy is a machine.
Yeah,
in the snake.
Shane Howell, like you played with Shane Howell on Infamous, right? You guys won Phoenix.
I didn't play. I coached that day.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So, but Shane Howell's a vet. Played with DMG last season, but big pickup for Storm. So just 3 players left alive for them. It's Cody Tolliver, Brian Ferrari, Clint Johnson. 4 players left alive for Damage, trying to put 1 more point on the board and take this victory. Chad Boucher on the D side of the field, Brian Smith, Jacob Edwards, and Jason Edwards. No one in the snake for either team right now, and here comes a big push up the D side of the field. It looks like Texas Storm. Were they able to bunker out the 50 for Damage? No, they weren't, and here comes Chad. And that is going to do it.
It's all relevant at this point.
Yeah, it looked like Justin Schwartz just wanted to get Jason Edwards off the field. Took off all the way from the corner and got him, but definitely paid the price from Chad Bouger and Brian Smith. So Brian Smith right there, number 65. Tampa Bay Damage going to walk that flag in.
This is officially our first butt kicking of the tournament.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's really, it's a great tournament out here. These guys are definitely playing really well. I mean, Tampa Bay Damage shooting great lanes, making great moves, holding their lanes, crisp secondary moves when they're down their heels, kicking back up. I mean, across the board, they're the most impressive team I've seen so far.
Absolutely. Tampa Bay Damage looks the best out of everyone. We've seen some crazy games so far here at this tournament, and that's what we expected on this layout and for the first tournament, and considering all the offseason roster changes. And Tampa Bay Damage definitely looking like a favorite here. Let's check it with Lauren Kelly on the sidelines.
I am down here with Jason Willer and Dalton Vanderbilt. You guys are the newest members of Damage. Jason, tell me how it is playing with Damage compared to the Russians.
Well, first of all, I can speak their language, which is nice. Well, kind of, English American or whatever you want to call it. It's good. The quality of paintball is sky high. Everyone's super motivated, and it's nice to be around that,
Yeah, Don, we were used to seeing you on the Dorito side. You're playing the snake side this weekend. How is it playing the snake side, especially on this layout when the snake is pretty crazy?
The snake is just get all the way down and shoot somebody, and I'm pretty good at that. I don't really have to think. I just put my head down and crawl all the way down and pop up, get a few kills, do my job.
Well, you're definitely producing. You guys won 7-1. I saw you in Dynasty's pit a little bit ago. Are you missing those guys?
I love those guys, man. Just always, since I was 12 years old, I was watching Oliver and them, so I still love to watch them. I miss them a lot, but, I'm having fun here, so.
All right, cool. Maybe they'll get to play each other. Damage won that one 7-1. I'll be bringing you Challenger updates soon.